Welcome back, everyone, to another round, another stream here for the Sunday of the Touhou Project Mania Cup. I believe this is the round of 16 at the moment happening right now. I'm PotassiumF being joined alongside Paturages. How are you doing today?
Good morning, or part of the day. It is definitely not morning in Australia or Asia. It is.
It's pretty not morning. I would say that much.
Oh, what are those lineups? I didn't see the lineups, but yeah, those are lineups for sure. Like especially in Seed 16, like you don't see that those players in Seed 16.
Yeah, so I was kind of looking at this before. Seed 1 versus Seed 16 in the winner's bracket, you would expect normally in any other tournament to be a bit of a stomp, or, you know, at least very, very highly favored towards Seed 1. But in this case, Seed 16 seems like a little bit of an outlier. Buschan Konkawe Flourful and Grill Roasted is absolutely terrifying, but of course, Seed 1 is Seed 1 for a reason. So this might be fairly close, especially with the pools being a little bit more accuracy focused for these kind of players.
Yeah, exactly. But as you can see in the seedings, like seed number 1, Gravity Coil has been pretty dominant on pretty much all of the stages, so I do think they have the accuracy down pat.
Okay, but hold on. One thing you said, they're pretty much dominant on all of the stages, but look at this LN pick that they were 5th on. And I believe if we look at the seed number 16 team going on to the next one, that is their best one of the stages, coming in at number 3.
Ooh, a window of opportunity I see there. And apparently, seed number 16 did not have like the most optimal qualifiers either. Maybe not all of their players were available, especially for the Rice.
Yeah, you can definitely see a clear pattern here happening with seed 16, but if anything, this kind of like lopsided skill set that you would say that's being shown here is kind of beneficial when you're the underdog, because it means at least you have something that you can fight for, right? These LN picks definitely going to be the picks that Benny Goodman is going to go for to try and score their own points against the seed number 1. And
yeah,
might be successful, honestly.
Yeah, especially since as the underdogs. I think the underdogs right now have all of the information they need to, attack. Whereas the defending side, the seed number 1, like the king side is just going to be defending for now. But let's go into the protects and bans.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, LNX is going to be the protect from the blue team, so lending credence to what we've seen from the qualifiers results.
What?
Protect.
What? Hang on. Okay, so wait. LN4 I would have expected an LN1 ban, but LN4 I guess also has a lot of those kind of trickier LN patterns that I assume fit the players such as, you know, Buschan and Konkawe quite a lot. And not a Rice ban at all coming out from Team Blue, so we're actually going to see a hybrid being banned out of the way instead.
Yeah, like that hybrid number 2 in particular is especially stringent on the mini jacks. There are like very repeatedly, like very prominent 176 BPM mini jacks spread throughout all of the maps. So maybe that team in particular is like not really confident on the mini jacks.
Yeah, definitely very possible here, but at the same time, leaving all the Rice up does make me concerned, because versing a team that has names such as Poker and Era Dev, Rice might be very hard to match that kind of ratio, even for players such as Team Blue. Wait, are these? Yeah, no, we're switching the players around. I was confused for a second there.
Mm-hmm. So, despite this pick being the hardest Rice in the pool, I think for all of the players involved on this field, this is pretty much going to be an accuracy battle.
Yeah, this is one of those, I guess, unusual matches at this stage here, where the players are all so high level that we are probably going to be seeing accuracy battles on most, if not all of the maps, to be honest. Which does mean that single misses from either team might actually be enough to cause some like pretty big point swings and even break points for either of the teams possibly. Hi, Konkawa.
Hi, Konkawa. So, yeah, like the length of this pick is definitely going to come into play because they do have to last for 3 minutes and 4 seconds in a pretty chokeable pick, all things considered. Like, even if it's easy for them, it's also easy for them to just kind of blink and just drop it out all of a sudden.
Oh my god, I'm actually terrified of these lineups that I'm seeing happening on either team. If you block out the seed number at the top of the screen, I'm not sure if I would be able to tell you which team would be higher seeded, honestly.
It's like guess the rank, but guess the seeding.
Yeah, I mean, in MWC, any of these 4 players could be the superstar for any given match, but here we go, starting this hardest rice pick of the entire pool and off to a better start, it looks like, from Gravity Coil. Grill Roasted had a little bit of an off start there with some 200s.
Yeah, not too far behind, however. I think 99.87 is definitely recoverable, especially since it's really hard to maintain 99.98 for Ray, for example. Ray is already starting to drop towards 99.96, but that's not going to be enough for the blue team to catch up quite yet, especially since they're dipping below 99.9.
Yeah, 99.96 for both of the Gravity Coil players, 99.9 just about for both of the Benny Goodman players, so a clear difference in the accuracy, but really this is the difference of a couple 200s for each of these players, could switch very quickly.
Yeah, it seems that Ray is not invulnerable to this map, dropping from 99.96 to 99.94, so the blue team definitely hoping for a downwards trend from the red team. However, Grill Roasted, despite being upwards in trend of accuracy, gonna drop some combo, and that's gonna put a hamper on the chances of the blue team getting that point.
Yeah, big accuracy drop as well, now dropping down to 99.8. It's going to require a pretty significant miss coming out from Gravity Coil to match that, because even though, I mean, you look at the points, 7,000 points doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have both of your players holding 99.5 still, that is not recoverable at all unless there is a big mistake. Accuracy
disadvantage and combo disadvantage is definitely going to be an uphill battle in this last third of the map. Definitely needs needs something to be happening on the red side.
I can't believe they've managed to hold on to 99.95 still. No sign of any accuracy drop from either of these 3 players here, Ray, Dev, and Konkawa, all 3 holding on to their accuracies. Grill Roasted recovering a little bit, but as we said, not going to be enough no matter how much is recovered at this point.
Yeah, honestly, no signs of scratches from the red team at all. Like, Dev has been maintaining this 99.96 in a constant manner. Like, Ray has been only a tiny bit more unstable than Dev, but still maintaining 99.95. Like, I think that the end result is still going to be as good as Dev.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? 99.95 is the lowest accuracy on Team Red, and that's why they're seed 1. That's a 1997 almost as a team score.
Yeah, despite the instability, like the relative instability of Ray in terms of accuracy, it is still a V1SS, so maybe some 300s dropped here and there that caused the fluctuation towards the first half of the map. But Dev with a really, really consistent run throughout, resulting in 89 out of 3,400 nodes.
And my god, I'm just thinking if they're getting 998k scores, both of them getting 998k scores on the EX Rice pick, I'm wondering what they can pull off on some of the more straightforward and easier Rice picks of this pool.
Yeah, so Team Blue not necessarily gonna go for Rice for the next picks, I don't think. Like, considering their accuracy disadvantage, maybe another route is preferable. For example, LNs or hybrids. But they banned one of the hybrids, however, so I don't really know.
Yeah, it does seem like, I mean, they do have enough LNs and hybrids to be able to pick all of them, you know, and if they, in theory, do win all of them, they can force a tiebreaker out, but they are limiting themselves a little bit here, and LN has to be, no, wait. No, that's, I thought that was a pick. Was that the pick? No, wait, that was Team Blue's pick. Hang on a second. I got the picks mixed up. I thought it was Gravity Coil that had the first pick.
No, apparently
no, that was a break
RCX,
point.
Like Rice X was Team Blue's pick for some reason. I think they just tried to go for the beef, like to jump for the beef, as one might say.
And it definitely did not pay off with those scores coming out of Gravity Coil, and now, yeah, the speed pick coming out. This one was the Protect coming out from Gravity Coil as well, so they're not wasting any time. They're going straight into it, and probably with some comparable ratios to what we just saw.
Yeah, as we saw on the previous Rice map, Gravity Coil definitely has the ratio advantage on paper, but it all remains to be seen whether Benny Goodman can challenge them, especially if Gravity Coil catches a combo break. But they've been really consistent so far, so pretty unlikely to happen.
It looks like a bit of a team meeting happening here for Benny Goodman. All the players leaving the lobby briefly. I don't know if they're going to have some player switches or not. Looking at the team, I'll definitely expect Konkawa to come back in here. One of the players that I would expect to have some of the best accuracy in general when it comes to a lot of these early game pools.
Yeah, I think the expected lineup would be Grill Roasted and Concave again. But however, considering that all of the players, all of the four players are definitely able to play this level of physicality, I think like all of the players are pretty much interchangeable. Kind of depends on their own consistency on the map itself.
And very high level teams for both of these teams here. So, yeah, you're right. They can very much just switch in and out depending on very specific comfort levels for each map, which does help them out a lot. Also, stamina side of things also mattering here. Maybe not as much for these players, though, I guess.
We welcome Flowerful and Bastian on the field. It's gonna be interesting to see to get some more information about their own ratios. We've got some information from the previous Rice pick. Now we're gonna get some more. Not necessarily going to get more information from Gravity Coil because, well, they're good. That's what we know. Dev is like on point, despite being apparently 3 a.m. at Dev's place.
3 a.m. prime time playing hours, when you get all your best scores. And off to similar starts once again. Actually, all four players right now holding just about 99.9 for everyone. Dev right now being the outlier, 99.96 is enough to give, what is that, a 300-point lead?
Yeah, absolutely. Dev is just making the entire difference, and you need this kind of player in this kind of match to make the difference exactly. However, Flowerful and Bastian kind of building up that accuracy in the less dense verse.
Yeah, these accuracies between the teams are actually very close. Both Flowerful and Bushchan seeming to be slightly beating out Ray a little bit. But everyone now dropping their accuracy ever so slightly into these 1-6 patterns. And it's still Dev ahead by a little bit, but now Ray falling ever so slightly behind is kind of balancing things out a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that in this match in particular, every single Rainbow 300 matters. So you actually have to have some quote-unquote 2-star ratio ability here, which is kind of strange to say in a match of such high level. Like, you really have to be good everywhere.
Well, it looks like Bushchan might have caught at 200 there, perhaps, down to 99.9. I hate the fact that I'm saying that that's an accuracy drop, but it is. And that's going to be enough to give a 1,000 point lead, the biggest advantage we've seen so far on this map.
Yeah, going from the hit error bar, Bushchan is doesn't necessarily have the ratio trend needed to match Ray or Dev, so it's going to be an uphill battle, definitely. Unless Ray drops some more accuracy. I think Ray... I don't remember where Ray started exactly in terms of accuracy. Maybe it has gone up, actually.
It has gone up, yeah. That was like a 99.9 flat at the start there. It's managed to bring it up to 99.93. So now above both of Benny Goodman's. And it is going to be Gravity Coil winning another map once again, with Dev getting the MVP once again also.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the scoring in Mania is not exactly linear in terms of, I guess, difficulty of getting the scores. So those 3,000 points of difference are relatively huge in this context in particular, because the amount of accuracy you need to catch up those 3,000 points is like an order of magnitude bigger than one might expect, especially once you start like really seeking through just the ratio ability. You essentially have to double your ratio to catch up to Gravity Coil at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those like really, really difficult things to do, up your ratio, and it's something that you can't fluke either. You can't fluke a good ratio. That has to be earned. And you can see Dev just that much better than everyone else, half the 300 count of everyone else. Those 200s on Benny Goodman did not matter anyway at the end of things, because that ratio was definitely dominant. And now we are going into the Protect. We're going to see Benny Goodman trying to attack this LN pool now, trying to pick what they should be best at in theory. But at the same time, look who it is, Poker.
God, they have one of the best Rice lineups in the entire game, for early game especially, and they have Poka and Rezored. I'm less familiar with Rezored.
Rezored, I believe, is a rename for Adiza.
Oh, okay then.
Yes.
I mean, not to discount Grill Roasted, who was one of the finalists in OMLN 3, I believe, and Bushchan, also one of the top players, one of the top LN players in the world as well.
Yeah, Grill Roaster and Bushchan are two of like the best LN players just generally that I can think of, at least in 4Key. But it is really terrifying to try and avoid Dev's ratio by going into Poker's LN ratio, because thinking of LNs just in general, it's very, very hard to think of someone who can match up to Poker, especially in early game LN.
Like going against the Avengers. Like, you think you can counter them through aiming for one of their weaknesses, but look who's behind.
But it does seem like this is fairly tied up at the very start here. Bushchan and Poker both tying each other's ratio, and it looks like Rezored dropping a little bit below that 99.8 mark is going to give Benny Goodman a little bit of a lead now.
Yes, that is a lead they direly need. Looking promising so far. Grill Roasted and Rezored are going to be battling together. Grill Roasted definitely needs to keep that kind of accuracy, because it is really, really close. Bushchan and Poka kind of balancing out this team battle, actually.
Yeah, and Rezared's actually increasing the accuracy over time. Grill Roasted dropped a little bit below now, so this lead is starting to flick towards Gravity Coil. As
yeah, if you add up the accuracy differences, you might come up with an almost tied score right now.
Absolutely. Poker just barely beating out Buschan right now. A close battle between those two as well. But it looks like both of these 1v1s are being slightly won out by Gravity Coil at the moment. That said, nothing a single 200 can't fix for Benny Goodman.
Yeah, random 200s are much more prone to happen in this really wild pick. Well, that can happen as well. Grill Roasted catching a combo break right now, definitely going to put the advantage towards Gravity Coil.
Yeah, that's quite a big advantage as well, because it means when Gravity Coil have to miss at some point if they want, well, if Benny Goodman want to be able to come back into this one. But they have not shown any signs of combo breaking so far in this entire match. And it's already the end of the map, a very short one.
Yeah, it's especially unfortunate seeing as Grill Roasted's pick was also pretty dirty. Catching 2 misses and probably that 100 as well, so dropping a fair amount of accuracy with the combo break.
The score V1 SS coming out for Poker as well just before leaving that. That was a 996k.
Yeah, Buschan, all things considered, was pretty close to catching Poker, which is definitely promising for the other LN picks. But yeah, some additional consistency is definitely needed on Benny Goodman's part.
Yeah, hard to beat when the other team simply doesn't miss. But now it is 3-0. Gravity Coil have won 2 breakpoints already. And they are looking to push themselves to match point already with one of these Rice picks that I assume they'll be going for.
Yeah, the Rice category definitely looks safe for Gravity Coil, considering that Ray and Dev are definitely on point in terms of accuracy and consistency.
Let's see what they decide to go for. It's kind of hard to argue against any of these maps being picked for Gravity Coil at this point. We've seen what they can do with their ratios. And if they can keep up those ratios without missing, then really anything is possible here. But it looks like Rice 4 is going to be the pick here. One of the, I guess this is more of like a dumpy kind of map.
Yeah, it is. But there's not only the dumps that are chokeable. Like this map in particular is also very trilly and like very quirky and gimmicky in its nature.
Oh, this is the one with the funny 2-3 trills, right?
Yeah, like many two-hand trills and so on. So you need a lot of stability at the level that the players on this field are playing. I think like it's not necessarily a matter of physicality or just being able to nail those patterns. I think it's more like a matter of control and just having the correct speed to get full rainbow 300s on all of those transitions.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. No one, I mean, pretty much all of these maps, no one is struggling when it comes to the speed or the ability or the physicality. It is just controlling trills is something that can be very hard when you're aiming for that like 99.9% kind of range. It looks like we are seeing some switch-ins again. Gravity Coil switching out both of their players back to their Rice team. And Benny Goodman with Flowerful and Buschan. Buschan staying in again, but Flowerful returning for another Rice pick.
Is that corruption I see in the chat? They're trying to fix the match.
No, Flowerful's just offering to pay for college tuition. Just very nice. Very generous.
Yeah, who knows? Like, the euro is pretty strong compared to whatever currency is in Indonesia. Probably. I don't know. I'm just talking out of thin air at this point. Flowerful is going to be opting for a mirror for one reason or the other. Maybe one of the trails is getting Flowerful out of God.
Yeah, trills tend to be one of the most common reasons to use mirror, for sure. Definitely something that you would feel much more comfortable with a certain hand, or starting with a certain hand, perhaps. But oh my god, again, 99.9s for all of these rice maps. It's just feels so close between the two teams.
Actually astounding to me to see that Buschan has as good as a control as Dev right now. Like, Buschan matching Dev is really surprising to me and also very promising for Benny Goodman.
Yeah, absolutely. But as usual, Dev increasing the accuracy to 99.98. And Buschan finding a really rough miss there on one of those trills. That's going to give a big lead over to Gravity Coil.
Yeah, that has been one of the continuous downfalls of Benny Goodman. And I think that was also the pattern that happened in qualifiers. From hearsay, I think Benny Goodman had a fair amount of misses, especially in the rice category. So that probably led to this seeding in particular, despite the lineup.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case here. But still strong accuracy for everyone across the board. Buschan is going to be able to increase that, maybe up to 99.9 by the end of the map. But on the other side, though, Ray and Dev both with 99.6, 99.7, 99.96, I should say, 99.97. Not really accuracies that you could ever hope to build back up into. Oh, but
ooh, a sign of vulnerability from Dev right now. This is uncharacteristic.
Yeah, big miss there. That's going to tie up the combo side of things. But still accuracy well in favor of Gravity Coil, with now Ray the highest accuracy in the lobby, Dev with the second highest still. So Benny Goodman still have some work to do. They still need to build up these accuracies to try and beat them out. 2,000 points seems to be still a safe lead for Gravity Coil for now.
Yeah, just gotta hold until the ending. No 200s need to be dropped here.
And the first sign of weakness we've seen at all, if you can even call it that. I mean, that's still 44. 992k, yeah.
Yo, double 69.
But the first opportunity being presented to Benny Goodman there, very unfortunately, comes right after a miss from Buschan. That was an opportunity, it felt like, potentially, for them to come back. I think they would have taken that if Buschan didn't have that earlier miss, but unfortunately, unfortunately for Benny Goodman, Gravity Coil do end up being at the 4-0, so they are 1 point away from making it to the winners' quarterfinals.
Yeah, honestly, in this lobby in particular, Flowerful might be feeling the imposter syndrome trickling in, but 1-20 ratio on this map is not something that many players in the world can match. Like, I've seen some of the other matches in this tournament, and no, like the other teams didn't get as good as a ratio on this.
Yeah, this is absolutely one of those outlier matches that you'll see having a way higher standard for ratio than we'll see in a lot of the other matches coming this weekend and next weekend as well. And sometimes that happens, especially when you're versing the seed number 1. But Benny Goodman, I wonder what they'll decide to go for. Potentially their last pick that they'll get to have. And Hybrid 1 going to be the pick, so they're going away from that. LN's had enough of it already. We're going to be trying out the faster of the Hybrid picks.
Oh no, Dev is running on energy drinks. You have to ask yourself how many monsters are whichever energy drink brand.
Yes, that has to be the sacrifice to be made to be able to assemble such a kind of multi-country, multinational super team here in Gravity Coil.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, considering Poka and Dev at least come from opposite ends of the world. And Benny Goodman also has sort of the same dynamic between Europeans, Flowerful and Griddle Roasted, and I believe Buschan is from
Korea?
Korea, yes.
He is Korean, I do believe. So we are kind of dealing with a case where we have a mix of players from Asia, Europe, and America, which does make things very hard to find a good schedule for everyone. So unfortunately, it does seem that Dev was the sacrifice in this particular case. Not that it seems to be affecting his play, luckily enough.
Yeah, we love the Night Owls.
But here, this is the last chance here for Benny Goodman now. Going to need to win 4 in a row if they want to come back. And looking promising, honestly, at the start of this pick now, despite Poker being in the lead. Buschan does actually find a bit of an accuracy drop there, down to 99.8. But still maintaining it close with Rezord. And just now...
Yeah, interesting dynamic between the two teams right now. Poka definitely leading the pack in this on this hybrid.
But Buschan finds a miss. That was the higher accuracy also on the side of Team Blue. Now 99.75 for both of Benny Goodman's players, and the lowest on Gravity Coil is 99.88. This accuracy lead is dominant.
Yeah, unfortunately, that has been the downfall of Buschan. I don't really know if it's like a consistency issue or a keyboard issue or I don't know, nerves. It could be anything, really.
Could be a combination of all three.
Yeah, there's a lot of criteria going into a tournament match, and especially at this level, everything matters.
Yeah, also, kind of important to note that these players are making it look easier than it actually is. I mean, misses should be expected for, a fair amount of other teams in this tournament. But just not here, apparently. Not for Gravity Coil, as they do manage to complete the sweep with yet another double S.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that the lineup of Benny Goodman can even be swept, but it takes a lineup such as Gravity Coils to get a sweep on pretty much any team in the world.
And I am sure that Benny Goodman is going to be having a much easier time in the losers bracket for the next few weeks for sure. But for now, it is going to be the winner being Gravity Coil, going to be advancing as seed number 1 still into that winners quarterfinals.
Jeez. That was a showcase.
Yeah, really not much that could have been done. It feels like in this case, despite how well all the players performed, it is some kind of monstrous ratios. And I think, wait, how many 200s did Gravity Coil get in that whole match? It can't have been more than like 3, honestly.
And this is pretty crazy. And we do have a fair amount of break before the next match. That is going to take place in 26 minutes from now. It's going to be Help Me Pet Red versus Sprite Cranberry.
Yeah, that's going to be a losers bracket match as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. We're going to have one of the teams being eliminated from the tournament.
There's also another match going on in, in -3 minutes, that is, and that is going to be all Paturages versus the Clones. However, like, that was not planned to be streamed because of the overlap, and also, I just woke up, I don't know, I'm kind of tired.
Okay, we can have a bit of a 30-minute break then, and we'll see you guys fairly soon.